everybody, it's me, Erica, and this is going to be part 3 of the Real Housewives of Potomac Reunion Season 5 review. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. I did not take any notes. I'm just going to go by what I was tweeting on the live feed. We're not going to be down here long at all. As I'm recording this last night, Sunday night, Monique has already announced that she will not be returning to the show. She said it on a live. And let's see. Let's see here. So she basically said, let's see what she says. It's not easy doing reality TV, and to be quite honest, I'm over it. It was a crazy ride. It's not easy doing reality TV. To be quite honest, I'm over it, Samuel said. I appreciate it. This is from people.com. I appreciate everything that people have done for me. Everybody that's been Team Monique. Shout out to Team Monique. I love y'all. I thank y'all. But when you cross certain lines, there's no going back. And for me, my family is that line. She continued. The opinion of my family and my kids and what they think about anything I do is more valuable than anybody's opinion, and I'm over it. A rep for Bravo did not immediately respond to people's requests for comment. So that's Monique saying that she quit. I've been saying that she needed some time off to get her mind together, to learn self-control. Self-created hostile situations. I think it's the best. And that's what it is. So they start off where they left off in the reunion. Hopefully this is the thread. I started a thread and then I don't know what happened to it. The episode itself was 90 minutes. It could have been an hour. It didn't have to be that extra 30 minutes. I'm not sure what, all in all, I'm not sure what was accomplished. Monique did apologize for her part in the altercation. Candace did not accept her apology because of the response afterwards. And then as of last night, Monique was still retweeting disgusting things that were being said about Candace and liking certain things that were being said about Candace. So I'm actually glad that Candace did not accept her apology. We all know if somebody apologizes to you, you don't have to accept the apology. They should be apologizing for what they did to you and how they made you feel. And it's not required that you accept somebody's apology. You can take your time. If she can go into a blacked out, triggered rage from something that happened 2 years ago, or she said it didn't have anything, she didn't have anything to do with it. It was not about her. But then she said that Candace was doing snake stuff, and she was never clear on what snake stuff she was talking about. Never was clear about that. So that's yet to be determined. So I'm not sure. Candace is in the back crying. Chris, he goes back there and he's kind of, trying to ease her anxiety. And I do like the fact that he was easing her anxiety and then also kind of supporting her without dismissing her feelings, without telling her to stop crying. He knows who he married. He knows he married a crier. So he knows that, that's what he's going to have to do for her. Candace comes out back to the group. Once again, she apologizes. She says sorry to everybody. Her makeup still isn't quite that. They didn't touch her makeup up really well. She looked dry the entire time on this side of the face. They didn't do her makeup that well. So Andy says to Monique, it seems like you have a double standard on who you get mad at and who you don't, because, Karen said that she, how did you feel when Karen said she would have pressed charges? Karen's behavior is out of order, based on the fact that Candace has always been by Karen's side in all situations she's been in with different people, to the point where she saw Karen as a mother figure. And Karen really went against Candace. There was a part where they really got into it really bad. And it came out that Candace told Karen to burn in eternal hell, to go to hell and burn in eternal hell, because Karen was trying to make it seem like Robyn and Giselle started this fight. She wasn't happy about it, and she told Karen to go to burn in eternal hell. And Karen in turn went to Bravo and said she felt her life was in danger. Can you believe that? Like, Karen ain't shit, but I've been telling y'all that she ain't shit, and she's really shown that she ain't shit last night. And being that Monique has quit, I don't know what Karen's gonna do, because Ashley threw your ass under the bus too. Ashley ain't your friend, so I don't know who you gonna fuck with. You could probably fuck with Giselle. Giselle will let you back in so y'all can be frenemies again, but I don't know how that's gonna go next season. If Candace comes back, how that's going to work with Karen. They're going to have to get over that. And now that Monique, now that the tension is gone, now I have to say, I don't believe that Monique is really gone. I believe that it was a ploy or a plot. It was, I think it is a ploy to gain traction from her fan base to want her to be back on. And, you know, maybe she'll come back. But she said, you know, down here to the Instagram that she wasn't. But I believe that that isn't completely true. I think that Monique has a difficult time like handling the truth. I can't really take her word for things. So we'll have to see her actions and see what happens. So we'll see. Monique has those tapes. Ashley said that Monique has kept her secrets. Ashley pretty much sat there the entire time. She really did not contribute to the last 90 minutes of the show, which would lead me to believe her storyline was really about her husband's infidelities and his sexual deviant behavior. And she didn't really contribute anything. So I'm not sure if Ashley should be back. I know that I don't want the Darbys back at all. I don't think it's safe for him to be on the set, nor do I think it's safe for his wife to be on the set and also making victim blaming and making excuses for her husband's behavior. Everybody always tries to extend her grace, but she's sitting up there with her sinuses clogged up and not really saying anything at all. So she sat there, but she did say something about Karen, how she felt like Karen's behavior or telling Candace, she felt like that was wrong. Ashley does not see it for Karen. She does not. So, because at the end of the day, the only reason why Ashley was on Monique's side because it was against Candace. But whenever Giselle is against Karen, Ashley is over there, is sitting over there with Giselle. Go back and watch the old episodes. Was it easy to write that letter about Candace? And Ashley says that it was based on previous behavior. I think she said it was, but she didn't think it would really go anywhere. So I guess Monique called in her favor, like, girl, I got these tapes down here. I need you to write me a letter. And she did it, and she was more than willing to do it. But she said she felt that nothing was going to happen. Monique starts to share with us about the song. That's what Candace starts reading the lyrics from the song at one point. And that's what she's talking about, is the response. You made a song about it. You're liking things. You're doing things. You're trying to profit off of this, you know, this violence. And it's just not a good look. It's just not the best look for her. It just really isn't. And Andy let her, he was like, you're a recording artist? It's not that great. And everybody is up in arms about him, saying that music was not that great. And I don't think any employer would sit there and say, he was like, what's the name of the song? He had no idea. What's the name of the song? Drag Me? Is that the name of the song? And they were like, no, Drag Queens. And he was like, girl, what? Girl, it's not that great. She was like, yeah, I've been recording since before. Do you remember on her first reunion? He asked her to rap, and she had something written, and she pulled her phone out from underneath the pillow and read a rap about the women. So Andy has completely forgot, and I think that might have been why she came over to Housewives. Maybe the music career, but maybe that's something that she can focus on now if she actually did leave the show. She did mention the snake stuff that Candace was doing, and she has yet to explain on what snake stuff Candace was referring to. Andy calls Karen out and calls her a liar and says, it sounds like you lied about the wig shift party and inviting the women at the same time. And she was hemming and hawing. I think Karen is another person that doesn't know how to hold the truth. She mishandles the truth. It's a little funny. It is a little funny in her hands. And he caught her in a lie, and it's just unbecoming. It's just like, what are you deflecting for? What are you lying for? What are you getting caught in semantics for? Girl, it's not worth it. And I was looking at tweets from 2017 about how I felt about Karen. Karen Huger has me blocked on Twitter. And it was because on the first season, I was like so disgusted with this performative, nouveau riche farm girl acting like she came from wealth attitude. I didn't like it, and I was turned off by it, and I must have said something she didn't like, and she blocked me a long time ago. I talked about Karen and Ray, and he basically said, you know, good luck getting your money back. You were a kept woman for all this time. You even had an allowance. There's no way that you could expect for me to pay you back. Absolutely not. And then they also announced they're going to do a 25th wedding anniversary or wedding vows to renew their wedding vows. And we all know on Bravo, Real Housewives, it is a curse to renew your wedding vows. So be careful. But because there is a picture of a farm over Karen's stove, she's never going to leave Ray. Just like there's a picture of a tent over Ashley's stove to remind her where she came from. Michael's letting her know, bitch, we're better. Every time they ask you, bitch, say, we're better than ever. Or you going back to where you came from. Monique, you go back to the truck. Karen, you can go back to the farm. Ashley, you can go back to the tent, girl. What do you want to do? So whenever somebody asks you about me, bitch, we're better than ever. We're better than ever. And you heard Ashley say, it's better than ever. Or something to that effect. I did see security back there. I noticed it at first and I was like, is there a man standing back there? And Giselle had brought security. Whether or not she needs security, the action of bringing somebody, the symbolism of bringing somebody to protect you because you don't feel safe around the Samuels, that's what that's for. Whether or not she feels safe or not, or she feels like Chris is going to do something to her, I'm bringing him so everybody could know that I'm afraid of you. And every time Giselle was around Monique, she brought security. And they were kind of like, what? And then Monique, Monique was making comments. She called Candace a narcissist. She did. Yeah, she did, y'all. Yeah, she did. She called Candace a narcissist. She called Candace a fan when Candace started reading off her lyrics. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're apologizing, but now you're saying I'm a fan because I'm exhibiting the weirdness of making a song about getting into a fight with me. And then you lie and say it's not about me, but the lyrics show that they are, and then you in turn say, well, you're a fan. It was really, Monique's behavior is just, I don't know, it's just unbecoming. That's the word for it, just unbecoming. Chris Bassett and them and the Samuels go back and forth because it comes out that Chris Bassett's kids were a target of some of Monique's fan base. At one point, Chris is yelling, and then Monique says, why are you yelling at me? And then later, Chris Bassett and Chris Samuels, he was like, you was kind of yelling at my wife. And he was like, no, I was directing that towards you. He was like, but you were looking directly at her. Okay. What do you guys think? I mean, is it really important? Like, he's yelling, you guys are yelling, people are talking about your families. That's what's going to happen. We're yelling. This is a family argument. Was he addressing her? I'm trying to remember. He looked like he was looking at Monique. He looked like he was looking at Monique, and she was like, what are you yelling at? Or who are you yelling at? Or something like that. And then they just started going back and forth. At one point, Chris, what's his name, did get up. Chris was like, I want to ask everybody. And he left Giselle for last. Did you mention it on the show? Did you mention it on the show? Did you mention it on the show? And Giselle's looking crazy because you were the one who mentioned it on the show. Also mentioned it filming. Giselle says that this all could have been brought up in season 3. And I think everybody can agree that this old 2-year-old rumor, how it came up again to be a part of Monique's storyline. And Giselle, she ain't shit. She said, well, when I was over your house, they showed that the Samuels allowed a woman into their home who had a plot against them to suggest that Chris was not Chase's father. and she was in your house. And Chris was like, does he look, you seen him before? Does he look like me? So Giselle said, yeah, he looks like you. Who else would he look like? So Giselle said she thought, because they said it on camera, that it was a part of Monique's storyline. So that is a crazy excuse. What you should have said, Giselle, was, let me tell you something. I mentioned it because you brought Kendall on the show. But you with Jamal now. You with Jamal now, so you really can't say that, but you should have said that. Giselle should have said, the reason why I was going to mention it is because you brought Kendall on the show. And you were out of order when you did that. You was fucking with my family when you did that, or my potential family when you did that. That's what she should have said. But these women, I don't know what it is. They just don't want to stand in their shit. I don't know what it is. I don't get it. I don't get it. But we still want to know, you know, why you blacked out in a triggered rage for something that happened 2 years ago, and then say it was childhood trauma from 25 years ago, but Candace should get over the trauma you inflicted on her a year ago. But it's excusable that you blacked out and into a rage because you said she pointed in your face, and that came from your father bullying you and pointing in your face in a bullying way. And she was really trying to squeeze her tears out about it. Really, really trying. She was trying her hardest. She might need to get a coach for that next time, because it was just the expression was just came off once again inauthentic, and it's just on trend at this point for Monique to be inauthentic in displaying her emotions. While she's applauded for not showing emotions, and the other one is villainized for showing her emotions, it's really crazy where we are as a people. Giselle was not happy that Chris was out there. Why is this big motherfucker here anyway? Giselle was cussing and everything. She wasn't trying to be. She was really mad. You could tell she was mad, and she was not biting her tongue. And she was like, I don't even know why I'm talking to this motherfucker anyway. She was mad because if you were really mad about it when you approached Michael Darby, Chris Samuels, that would have been the opportunity to bring all this up, right? If you were really mad and your chest was so puffed up and you came out here to protect your wife, and at one point he started crying, he too was trying to squeeze tears out, and that display was just very awkward. I don't know if that was the plan, like show some support. I don't know what that was. I can't even begin to try to analyze that display that Monique and Chris did, where he got up and I was like, what is he crying about? That suit was a mess, and then he got upset and he walked off the stage talking about, I don't play checkers, I play chess. You play football, and that's it. You ain't smart enough to play chess. You big dumb jock. That is how you came into your wealth, by hitting people. That is how you attained your wealth, by slamming your body into other people. I doubt you play chess, girl. I felt like y'all should have hashed it out, because Chris Samuels came back and he was like, listen, I really want to talk about this. And they really didn't want to talk about it. Andy seemed like he was over it, and that was it. And the way that Chris Bassett slid in there, that, you know, the last time when 2 years ago, when you cussed Michael Darby out, and because he was saying, Ashley was saying things about Monique being drunk. Yeah, it was just like that. And Michael Darby doesn't do that. He doesn't respect women. Chris got into all of that, but he slid in the hypocrisy of the Samuels, if y'all caught that. I really don't like how Michael Darby seems to skate by and get away with his stuff. I really do not want them back. I tell you, Monique says she's not coming back. If Ashley doesn't come back, I will review Potomac. But if Ashley comes back, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. They couldn't even look at each other at points throughout the when they were talking to each other. And Karen was talking about Giselle. You said all of these awful things about Giselle, and then later you're like, I know you're not going to believe it, but I really care about you. Girl. They talk about Juan and Robyn, and I don't know why Robyn was screaming like, I know that, because when they asked about Robyn, see, Andy was trying to get the Samuels to contribute to the conversation, and Chris was really stuck on this plot idea. And he said something like, this garbage or something like that, and Robyn was offended, and she was like, what did you say? What did you say? And then she just started yelling, I'm so glad Juan is not here. So I don't know what they cut out and what he was saying at the time, but it didn't match with what Chris was actually doing, because he wasn't doing that much for her to elevate her voice like that. So I don't know what was happening there. They talked about Karen Huger's picture on the embellished website, and it turns out she was kind of offended by it, but then she turned around and lied and said she liked the hat, and then Robyn was like, but you threw it on the ground. That's why Karen lies too much for me. Just, it's too much for my taste. Karen is a liar. Ashley will always go against Karen. Ashley was smiling a lot during the time, so I don't know if they were putting glimpses of her smiling in spaces that didn't go, because it looked really evil. Let's see what else. I think that's about it, you guys. It's weird. It's always awkward to end these shows because you're trying to end it as a cohesive group, and you know, none of the women like each other. I don't know what's going to happen next season with the relationship between Karen and the women. Robyn was looking at Karen like she was disgusted with her, like literally disgusted with her. And Karen was sitting up there. Now that I'm thinking about it, I need to watch it again, because I just don't like Karen. I don't like Karen Huger. I'm not fond of Giselle. Candace gets on my damn nerves. Wendy, everybody said Wendy was gone, and Wendy said contracts don't lie, so she's obviously coming back. And maybe, you know, if I was Wendy, if Monique was coming back, I wouldn't even want to be in a friend group, like a friend group of acquaintances with Monique a part of that friend group if I was Wendy. Absolutely not. So that's about it. That's about it for the season. I am glad that it is over. Oh, at one point, Ashley said, you know, Monique kept my secrets for me. And she's like, and everybody was like, girl, that shit is paid for. That's a paid friendship. And Monique was like, girl, you know, why do I have to pay for my friends? I can't have any friends. You and Ashley are not friends. If you think that you and Ashley are friends, Monique, you are wrong. And you are sadly mistaken, and you've misread that woman. That woman is snuggling up close to you because you have videotapes of her and her husband in your basement. And everybody, I think everybody is on the same page with that. So being that somebody is that controlling, not to have video cameras in your basement, we don't believe you. Once again, you have just this weird way that you hold and you handle the truth. A lot of these women on this show does. I don't know if I'm coming back. Like I said, Ashley would have to go for me in order for me to review it again, because I'm just not going to do it, because I'm not going to do another season of this man being allowed around these women and around these workers as violent as he is. And that's just how I feel about it. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other, protect your energy, get down in the comments, let me know what you think of the last episode, what things that I missed that you guys can, you know, start in the comments. Be mindful of people who are in the comments who are supportive of the behavior, and so they will most likely, their points of view are not going to align with yours. So just be mindful how you guys engage with each other. I know I shouldn't have to say this to adults, but clearly we do, and that's just what it is. So anyways, take care of each other, protect your energy. Peace.